Welcome to Zenoa's product presentation. It's so good to be with you tonight. Before we get started, I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. I just need a few of you to raise your hands for me. Thank you. Okay, I can see you, and now I know you can hear and see the presentation. My name is Jake Smith, and I am the product guy at Zenoa. I've helped develop hundreds of unique products and brands for a variety of companies over the past 20 years. And I'm so glad to be associated with you and Zenoa. I'm grateful to John Wadsworth and Kim AC and all of my coworkers and for their trust and friendship. Tonight we're going to be learning more about SRQ. The purpose of the product webinars is to increase your own foundation and help give you the compelling insights to share with others. There are so many things to relate to you, and hopefully you can take something with you tonight that will help you, your family, and someone else that you know. First, let's start out by talking about one of the biggest problems the world has ever faced. Let's take a look at the top 20 causes of mortality. Okay, so as you can see from this graph, heart disease still holds on to first place, closely followed by all of the cancers combined. And then as you look through, Alzheimer's, lung disease, of course there's diabetes, high blood pressure, pneumonia, kidney disease, liver disease, endocrine disorders, and the list goes on. There are several factors involved with the top 20, but there's one thing common with the big 16, which are actually controllable causes of early mortality. That one thing is called obesity. So we know that 7 out of 10 Americans are currently overweight or obese. And as you look at the obesity rates and sugar consumption, both have trended together and have skyrocketed. When you place the sugar consumption chart on top of obesity prevalence, you see a very real trend. Again, together these obesity rates and the sugar consumption rates have skyrocketed over the past 20 years. The competition is fierce between obesity rates and consumption rates. In the United States, there has been a 20% increase in sugar consumption since 2003, which means the average adult now consumes more than 6 ounces of sugar in 1 week, which is 19.5 pounds of sugar per year. The other thing that's happened over the years, as you look back in the mid-80s and fat consumption was at its peak, sugar took its place and continued to steadily increase obesity rates for both men and women. Year after year, obesity rates have continued to climb. And most of you are familiar with these charts that the Center for Disease Control has put together. You can see as each of the states become closer to that maroon red color, the more obese America is growing. So why is it that obesity in America and really throughout the globe, it is now a global epidemic? Why has it continued to grow? Research suggests that obesity is directly related and linked to high blood sugar levels. So will the obesity epidemic ever slow down or stop? It must. It's human nature to only make changes on what we can see or what we already know, similar to this iceberg. The problem with obesity is that there is a huge mountain of unknown knowledge underneath the surface. What are the major underlying causes of obesity? Here's a list put together by the American Medical Association. The first they list out is that eating more calories than the body needs. Second, post-pregnancy. Third, environment, demanding work schedule. 4 is emotional or psychological, with low self-esteem, depression, and stresses. Or 5th is medical conditions such as arthritis, which can be debilitating and disallow activity, hormonal imbalances, and injury. And then there are medications on the market where the side effects are contributors to obesity. Number 6, a lack of sleep. Number 7, genes and family history, often learned eating habits that carry on with someone throughout life. And then number 8, a lack of exercise. Sugar consumption has been driving this underlying mountain of connective evidence. Over 90% of type 2 diabetics are actually obese. This high blood sugar or glucose level and their causes contributes to several things, including all of those things related to the heart. So, what are the symptoms of unhealthy blood sugar? If you are always tired, or feel like you're always tired, always hungry, frequently have a need to go to the bathroom and urinate, if your wounds won't heal, you have numb or tingling hands or feet, urinary tract infections are a constant struggle, if your skin appears older than it really should be, your vision is blurry. These are all symptoms of consuming too much sugar and having high blood glucose levels. The truth is that sugar isn't inherently evil. Our bodies must have sugar to provide us with the energy that we need. So what is a normal blood sugar level? Healthy blood sugar levels fall in the range of 115, and then during activity you want them a little bit higher, but an A1C level below 6. This would be an excellent blood sugar level. Keeping within these guidelines will allow you to perform at your very best. Many nutritious whole foods are actually broken down to sugar or glucose in the simplest form in the body. But here are the ways that excess sugar can actually harm your body. Too much sugar actually converts to fat. When the liver is maximally full, excess sugar is converted by the liver into fat and returned to the bloodstream and then stored in your most popular regions of the body, including the stomach, the hips, your butt, and breasts. As an unfortunate bonus, once these regions are full of adipose tissue, the fat begins to spill over into your organs, like the heart, liver, and kidneys. This reduces the organ's ability and raises blood pressure. It decreases your metabolism and weakens the immune system. The other problem is that too much sugar actually creates excess insulin. Anytime you eat what would be considered a simple carbohydrate, like candy bar, drinking soda, or consuming white bread, there are two actions that can occur when the insulin levels are spiked. First, the body's fat-burning process is shut down so that the sugar that has just been ingested can be immediately used for energy. Secondly, insulin's job is to actually act as a taxi cab and take all that sugar and put it into your muscles. However, as soon as the muscle's energy stores are full, the excess sugars are carried by the insulin and are converted to fat and then stored throughout the body. Because all of the sugar is being converted to fat, the body's blood sugar levels are now low and then communicate that you actually need to eat more. This can be a very vicious cycle. Excess sugar can also cause what is now known as type 3 diabetes. Type 3 diabetes is when the brain fights against insulin. This is also known as Alzheimer's. And to younger folks, it's known as sugar fog. I've never experienced a time when after eating a delicious sugary glazed donut that I didn't end up with a sugar fog brain. Another statistic related to sugar fog is that 80% of people with Alzheimer's have insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. So the question, what solutions do we have to fight back obesity and maintain healthy blood sugar? We can make healthy food choices, be active and exercise at least 1 hour a day, manage our stress levels, get 8 hours of sleep every night, and avoid foods high in simple sugars or refined sugars. The problem is that because of our daily routines, this can be a hard thing to do consistently. And there's nothing on the market that targets stored simple sugar. Until now. Introducing SRQ. There is nothing else like it. This is the only product of its kind, a patented, targeted, blood sugar-friendly helper with an exclusive blend of ingredients to promote healthy blood sugar levels, sustained energy, and strengthen the engine of our cells. So you might remember these slides. The average adult human body has around 37 trillion living cells. And cells thrive everywhere in our body, including our brains, our lungs, the blood, the heart, our bones and the liver, our muscles, the kidneys, the pancreas, in our reproductive systems. And they all do many different things. The human cell is truly amazing. It creates energy, or ATP. It carries oxygen throughout the body. It defends the body against bacteria and viruses, transmits signals from your eyes to your brain, and converts the sun's energy into food, multiplying by a process called cell division. And living cells have many important building blocks. The human cell is made up of a nucleus, the centriole, the ribosomes, the smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum, the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, the mitochondrion. Today we focus on the mitochondrion. Mitochondria is just a way of saying mitochondrion in a plural form. The human cell has 1,000 to 2,000 mitochondria per cell. Here's the structure of the mitochondria. It's made up of an inner membrane, the cristae, the ribosomes, the granules, the matrix, and other important functions. It can be complicated, but let's keep it simple. The major function of a healthy mitochondria is to produce energy. This is why it's nicknamed by scientists the powerhouse of the cell. When your cell's mitochondria are properly working and producing energy, you are literally full of energy. And you feel it. A healthy mitochondria uses up the excess stored energy, specifically simple sugars, to help produce energy for the cell and body. Again, a healthy mitochondria uses up the excess stored energy, specifically simple sugars, to help produce energy for the cell and body. Different foods can affect your blood glucose levels and your energy levels in different ways. Here's a chart showing the typical rise and fall of blood sugar consuming 3 meals daily. choosing the right foods and consuming SRQ will help you normalize blood sugar levels. Here's a chart that shows various foods and their impact on blood sugar levels. You can see that within 10 minutes, you'll have a rise and fall with white pastas, rice, bread, and other products. Complex carbohydrates will give you 30 to 60 minutes of blood glucose rise and fall. And then you get into proteins and lean meats, fishes, beans, and soy, egg whites, and skimmed milk, which help sustain your blood glucose levels for 2 to 3 hours. Fibrous materials and other whole grain complex carbohydrates can actually extend the blood sugar level up to 3 hours. As you can see, I've placed SRQ on this chart because SRQ can actually help you sustain your blood sugar levels for even longer. It is the only product in the world that targets blood sugar from simple sugars. A simple sugar is just that. It's simple. So compared to this knot, which Afa, Dr. Palu taught me about, you compare this knot, a single knot in a rope. This is similar to a simple sugar. The body must efficiently unravel the knot and then metabolize and uses energy. If the body gets too much of these simple sugars, it will automatically store the substance in your least favorite areas. This is where SRQ comes in. It again literally targets recently consumed and stored energy to produce ATP or energy. There is no other product like it in the world. Its patented technology is exclusive to those who purchase product from Zenoa. It targets our favorite products and foods and sugary foods. Donuts, cookies, chocolate, soda, candies, and breakfast cereals, and sugars from white bread. Again, SRQ strengthens the mitochondria, helping use up the excess stored energy, specifically targeting simple sugars to help produce energy for the cell and body. Other products target starches and complex carbohydrates and disallow the absorption of those nutrients. A complex carbohydrate looks more like this set of knots, where it has a very sophisticated group of knots, and it takes much longer to break down and metabolize, and is much more difficult for the body to excessively store. The goal is to consume complex carbohydrates, whole grains, fibers, lean proteins, with SRQ. SRQ will not impede a complex carbohydrate from being utilized by the body. Here are some starch blockers on the market, including several starch blockers and products that state that they actually stop sugar, but they actually inhibit the absorption of complex carbohydrates. Remember, complex carbohydrates are necessary, and the body must have glucose to produce ATP, but anything that has been developed as an amylase inhibitor is blocking complex carbohydrates, and this can be dangerous. There is nothing else like SRQ. It is the perfect complement to core care and Nuka-Hiva. SRQ for healthy blood sugar levels targets the mitochondria in the cell to help you maintain healthy weight, speed up your metabolism. Core care for a healthy heart targets all of the cell membranes throughout your body to keep all of your systems strong, while Nuka-Hiva is your good daily nutrition which targets the entire health of the cell with over 100 healthful uses. Fresh pasteurized equivalent of 5 fruits and vegetables per 2-ounce serving. Enjoy sharing Nuka-Hiva, Core Care, and SRQ with your family and friends. It's my hope that we will see the true potential in ourselves and others and find our Zanoa and live a life of love, peace, balance, freedom, growth, and joy. Thank you.